and welcome to the gathering in quarantine. Hi, Mike.
How you doing, Terry?
Good. How are you today?
I am doing fantastic, and with the nice warm weather, I am so looking forward to this meal today.
Oh, wonderful. It'll get you even hotter, if I can say that, right?
Just might.
Just might. Just might. So I want to say hi to all of our viewers. And again, I hope you're all doing well during this time, you, your family, and your friends. And we are going to have a Tex-Mex dinner tonight.
I can't wait to see how you put this together.
Oh, yeah.
It always teases me because you send me the menu on Sunday and all the ingredients and the instructions, and I'm there. Wow, this one here I've been looking forward to.
Good, good, good. I know. Who doesn't like Tex-Mex, right?
Not too many people that I know of.
Exactly. And what we have on the menu tonight, we have for salad, we have a Zesty Fiesta corn salad. We're going to have chicken and beef fajitas. And also, I'm going to be preparing a Pico de Gallo to go with those. And then we're going to finish it off with Drunken Plantains. So, as you know, I do start with my desserts because they do have to cook.
Right.
And what I have here for the Drunken Plantains, I don't know if you know much about plantains.
Nothing. Tell me all about them.
They look a lot like bananas, but they're very hard, as you can see. And you have to cook them because they're not sweet. And typically you cook them with things like butter and rum and orange juice. So I've got the stove preheated to 350. So I'm going to take the plantains and place them in a baking dish that I do have coated already. Yep. And then I'm going to take the butter and dot with the butter all over the plantains.
So that's just little squares you place it on top of the plantains.
That's right. So that when it goes in the oven, it's going to melt. And it's going to blend with orange juice and rum extract. And now you can use, whatever rum you want, but I use the baking kind.
And that you can buy at any store, rum extract.
Yep. And so to that, I am going to mix brown sugar and cinnamon and orange zest from that orange that I had. I'm going to mix that up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to top the plantains with this so that when it does bake, all of this is going to melt with the butter and the orange juice, and it's going to create a sauce.
Wow.
So here you see right here. I'm gonna put that all over. Okay. There you have it. I'm going to put this in the oven for 350 for 25 to 30 minutes. So I'm going to do that now.
Okay. And while you're doing that, just want to remind everyone at home that's watching, they can go to our YouTube channel. They can find the entire ingredients and the recipes for everything you're making tonight and for all your shows in the description portion of this video. And also, they will be online on our regular channel, hkim.tv/thegathering. So with all your recipes from all your other shows. And they'll all be placed there. But as you're watching this video, feel free to do that. Feel free to leave us a comment, chat with us on the chat side of YouTube. I'll find it. And you got a question for Terry or a comment, let us know. Go right to that chat portion, and we'll answer your questions.
Sounds good, Mike. So now I'm going to make the whipped cream. I have some heavy cream right here, 1 cup. I have 2 tablespoons of sugar. Then I have a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Excuse the phone. And I'm going to beat this. And I'll beat this maybe for 3 minutes until peaks form.
Sure.
It will take some time. We all know baking is not my forte, right?
But you get it right every time. I don't know how you do it or what you do, but it seems to come out for a person who doesn't know how to bake.
Oh, it's getting thicker. We all know. Oh, that's good. It's coming out good. Okay, I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
So that's beautiful. As you know, I'm not a baker. It's not my forte. So when things come together, I get so excited. So this is good. I'm going to put this in the fridge.
Okay.
And let that chill. And then I'm going to take out my ingredients for my fajitas. And as you can see, tonight's dish, actually the whole meal, it's going to be quite colorful. So what I have here, before I clue you in, I'm going to put some oil in the pans and get those warm. Okay. So what I have here is one really big chicken breast, a whole chicken breast sliced, and 2 pounds of London broil. And these have been marinating overnight in lime juice, sugar, dried oregano, cayenne pepper, and ground cinnamon. You've got the measurements on the screen. And so you can marinate them for a half an hour or, like me, overnight so the flavors really get in there. And then we have onions, green peppers, yellow peppers, and red peppers. And what I'm going to do is saute the chicken and the beef, and then get these going in the other fry pan. And while those are cooking, I'll put together the Pico de Gallo and the corn salad. But before that, I have tortillas. And what you want to do with these, you want to heat them in a pan and maybe a minute or two to get the color, and they'll blister a little bit. So I'll do one. I don't know if you can see it.
Yep. Can you do that dry on a dry pan or just a little oil?
You can do both.
Yep.
If you do the oil, it comes out a little crispier.
Yep.
Which I kind of like, when I'm doing tacos, I like the crunchy.
I enjoy the crunchy as well.
Yeah.
And I noticed my background matches your peppers. Have you noticed that? All the pretty
that's
colors.
beautiful, Mike.
It's almost like we coordinated ahead of time.
Yeah, that is absolutely beautiful. And what I have here is a clean dish towel on a plate so that when it comes out of the pan, I'll put it right in there to keep it warm.
Excellent.
And it is starting to bubble, so that's always good to see. Yeah, that is good.
And those are the nice big 10-inch fajitas that you have there.
Sorry?
Those are nice big 10-inch fajitas.
They are.
Yeah.
They are. You can use these for any kind of burritos, chimichangas, or all those good things. So
I tend to make my tacos in the 10-inch ones because if I don't, it always seems to fall apart because it's so small. Yeah, see, that's the perfect size.
Yeah, absolutely. There. This in real quick. And while that's going, I'm going to add the chicken to the small pan.
All right.
Now, when you go to a restaurant and you order fajitas, they come out sizzling.
They come out sizzling.
They come out like that, sounding like that, smoking like that. Okay, and this is coming along really nice.
That was always the hardest part for me is when you're at the restaurant and you ordered, I usually get the chicken fajitas, and every time I ordered, you hear the sound coming from the kitchen. You just know you're next. And, then they walk by you and you get that little disappointment and you have to wait for the next sound.
There, and stir this a bit. Just want to always keep stirring. And then I'm going to add a little more oil for the vegetables. And you can hear that crackle.
Yep.
And these you want to do together. Now, if you were just doing chicken or beef, you could do it all in one pan. You do the meat first, and then do the vegetables, and then put the chicken or the beef back in and serve it all together. But because I'm doing beef and chicken, I marinated them separate, and I'll serve them separate.
Yeah.
Now the chicken coming right along. I'm going to turn up the heat a bit. I don't know if you can see over there.
Yeah.
Really beautiful. And it's starting to smell.
So now with your peppers and onions, do you leave them crunchy, snappy? Do you like them soft, juicy? How do you like your peppers and onions when you
Oh, goodness. Okay, I like them sauteed for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, I like them raw. I like them cooked. I like them stuffed. I like them in a sauce. I like them all kinds of ways. But for this, and kind of like the sausage sandwiches you get at Fenway,
Sure.
onions and peppers like that,
Right.
just cooked all day and kind of like almost caramelized.
Yes.
Almost.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. That's exactly how you want them. You want them to. I like it. The main reason I like it that way is how it weaves with the meat when you make up your fajita, and it weaves around the meat and everything. So when you bite through your whole fajita, it's sort of even. It's not like one half is pepper, and, your vegetables, and the other half the meats. So
Exactly.
I agree with you. We're on the same boat on that. Excellent.
And this is such a wonderful dish to make when the family's at home. The aroma floats through the house, and you've got people coming in, kids, spouses, whatever, and they can pick on things and help you. And
Sure.
it's a really communal type meal.
Yeah, this is one that you don't plate yourself. You have to leave out the servings and let everyone make their own plate.
Exactly. Now the chicken's coming out real nice.
Yep.
But I'm going to let that go because you definitely want to make sure the chicken is cooked through.
Now, is there a certain time of year that you like to prepare Tex-Mex food, or do you do it anytime yourself?
I do it anytime. Anytime. Yep.
When I'm cooking, I like doing it in the spring and summer, but I love going out to it in the winter because now it feels a little warmer.
Exactly.
It could be 10 degrees out, but now you're in a nice Mexican or Tex-Mex restaurant, and it feels like it's spring all over again.
Yep. And how I look at it is I've lived in Arizona twice, Scottsdale.
Yep.
So we were in that area, and it's always warm.
Yes.
So yeah, anytime, anytime. Coming along. Okay. And I think while that is working, I'm going to put together the Pico de Gallo. And what we have here, we have tomatoes, we have the juice of one lime, we have onions finely chopped, cilantro, my all-time favorite go-to for just about anything, and a dash of sugar.
Well, why the dash of sugar?
Sorry?
Why the dash of sugar?
Because it cuts down on the acidity.
Okay.
It's the same reason why you put a little in your sauce.
Yep. Excellent.
Yeah, so, here we go. So I'm going to add the onion. I know it doesn't look like there's much room in here to mix, but there really is. So I can mix it and serve it in the same bowl. I'm going to put the lime juice. Oh, almost mess that up. The sugar, dash of sugar, okay. And then the cilantro. Now this is colorful, and this is an all-time favorite because you can serve this with chips, tortilla chips,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, while you're waiting for your meal to be cooked. So, and that was quick.
That's it.
That's it. Beautiful, huh?
That's it. All right, so what's your preference on the Pico de Gallo? Do you like it, if you were eating it with chips, would you like it at the room temperature? Would you, not really room temperature, but I like it right out of the refrigerator. For some reason, I like that cold while I'm waiting for my meal, eat with my tortillas.
Yep. And again, I'm Italian, and you're part Italian too, right?
Yeah, I'm Italian, yeah.
I like it warm, cold, room temperature.
Yep.
Maybe not warm, but definitely room temperature. As long as it's close by.
Right. And it's as long as it's fresh like that, you can't beat it.
Yeah. Okay, so I think the chicken is done.
Okay.
Frying up really nice. Want to show you?
There you go. Nice. Very nice.
Oh, smells beautiful. Then I'm just going to give this a quick rinse. Get that ready for the beef. You want to keep stirring your vegetables, and it's okay if you let them go a little bit and they get a little charred because it gives it that grill effect. And you do get that little bit of caramelized action going on.
Sure.
You want to scrape up the bits from the bottom of the pan. I like to spray before I put more oil in. And then I'll add my beef. Okay, so take a peek at the plantains. Oh my. Okay.
Now, if there's a way that we could get the smell to come over the internet, I think the show.
Oh my God. I know. Truly. Wonderful. I've got the steak going. The vegetables are still going. And to this, we have a side of sour cream.
Yep.
And then your guacamole. Now, I don't know if you know this, but when you're covering guacamole, you want to, with saran wrap, put it right down to it, get all the air out. That prevents it from turning brown and black.
Right, because no matter how fresh it is, it will turn black fast, correct?
Yeah. These are your toppings. Oh, these are coming out really nice. And those are almost done. So you don't want them, you still want them to be a little,
Sauteed.
crunchy. Yeah. And here again, when you do get back to work, for those who will be going back to work, you prep this the night before, and you see how quick everything comes together.
Sure.
So it's a nice family dinner.
So one of the things that I always did at the family side, because you weren't sure, some people eat them fast, some people eat them slow. You could be waiting for someone to come. When I have everything laid out, I like leaving the fajita to last and let them either throw it on the pan themselves so they can get it right over. There's so many different ways of doing it. Some people add cheeses. Myself, if I'm having guests, I will serve the guacamole, but myself, I'm not interested in guacamole. Just never liked it. No.
Yep. No, I get it. A lot of people don't.
I just started using sour cream on my tacos. I've never done that.
Yep. Tacos, that's another thing, right?
Yeah. And the guacamole is easy to make and fast to make, other than cutting out the avocado.
Yeah, it is. It's you peel and mash avocados. You add the tomato, cilantro, lime juice, little bits of onion.
And is that's hand mixed, right?
Yeah.
Not whipped, hand mixed.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, so what do we have here? We have the plantains that are almost ready.
Yeah, I'm down to take a look at those.
We will check on these. But look at these. You see that sauce?
Very nice.
I think these are done. I'm going to put those in here. And again, sizzling, just like being at the restaurant, everything is sizzling. All right, that's beautiful. don't know if you can see that. That's beautiful, isn't it?
All the pretty colors, great flavor in that.
Yeah. Yep, that's beautiful. I'm gonna push these over a bit. Put this over here, and I'll wait for the beef. Okay, now I'm just going to take a fork and test this. And these, I'm going to put them back in. I think for about 10 minutes maybe, because they feel like they could use a little more. But while I'm doing that, I'm going to spoon some sauce all over. And you can see how that made a nice sauce with the butter, the orange juice, brown sugar, and the cinnamon. Smells beautiful. Okay. Turn that down a little bit. Put this back in. Maybe 10 minutes. Okay. This. Okay, now how about putting together that Zesty Fiesta corn salad?
This is the one that I'm really interested in.
Okay. Get all my ingredients over here. Put this over here. Okay. Here you go. So what I did was I doubled this recipe. So what you're going to see on the screen is the recipe for one. So I'll just tell you what I have. I have water and taco seasoning mix. I have vinegar, oil, sliced olives, tomatoes, and peppers. And what you're going to do first is add the water. To that, you're going to add the taco seasoning mix. And you're going to stir it around. Make sure that everything is nice and incorporated. And as you can see, it just really comes together. To this, we're going to add the vegetable oil and red wine vinegar. And you're going to mix that around. Then you're going to take your corn, drop that in. Then you're going to add your tomatoes, your olives, your peppers. Now you can see how nicely it all comes together.
Sure.
If you love tacos, taco seasoning, you're gonna love this. And the kids will love it. Yeah, the kids will love that too. I mean, if they like the tacos, they're gonna like this. Now the beef is done. Here's your beef. Okay, so what else do we have?
Everything is just so colorful. It's
It is,
all the
isn't
colors.
it? Uh-huh. I know, it just truly is. And nice with the spices, flavorful.
So
And
if I had my stopwatch, Terry, I'm gonna say you spent without even with the cooking of the meat and the chicken, if you were having those in separate pans at the same time, I'm gonna say you spent 10 minutes putting that together and
yeah,
it's ready to go. But all the prep time isn't much either, correct?
no,
You now how did you do the chicken breast? Did you buy it in the small pieces or did you do it
nope.
yourself?
Well, you could, and even that would save more time. But this
Yep.
was a whole chicken breast, and it was big. It was a big chicken breast. So, and that's one. So I bought that and sliced it, you know, and the beef is a 2-pound London broil.
Okay.
And again, cut, sliced, and I marinated each in one recipe of the marinade.
Right.
So each one got its own recipe, its own volume of the marinade. And it went overnight, which is pretty good.
But the zesty Fiesta salad and the Pico de Gallo, whip it again, boom, ready to go, start eating. There's nothing
Bingo.
to it. That's what's great about
Absolutely.
these food. That's what's great
Yep.
about Tex-Mex food. It's so fast and
Yeah.
it's so fresh. Everything is so fresh.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The vegetables, right? I mean, how long did that take? Not long at all,
No,
you know?
it
And
was perfect.
slicing and dicing, that doesn't take long either, and it's kind of fun, it's kind of the kind of work you can do and think about other things. You don't have to be so concentrating that you're gonna muck it up.
Right. Right. And a lot of the stuff too, you have done ahead of time. We'll just say for any day, for your average meal, whether you're in isolation or we're back to the new norm, you can have all this stuff done ahead of time, pull it out, whip it together. And if I was to guess, you could have this whole thing done. And with the exception of the plantains, maybe you could have all this here probably done in like 20 minutes.
Yes, absolutely.
That's
Stove
fantastic.
to table. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if
So
this here was going to be, if this was going to be one of your big parties, of course, I think we'd have a lot more food.
yeah.
But how would you go about getting the meats ready for this? Would it be something that you might save the chicken and the steak for last, and then maybe keep them in a buffet tray, a heated chafing dish?
You want to kind of like cooking Chinese food. If you watched my Thai show,
Yep.
a Thailand trip remembered, and whenever I've entertained cooking Chinese in the wok, it's very difficult because you're stir frying and you're serving, stir frying and serving.
Right.
And that's basically what you want to do here. You can do this a little bit ahead of time, the vegetables. You can do all the sides ahead of time. But the meats you really want coming, excuse me, off the stove, right onto the platter, so that it is still kind of smoking as it is now.
Right. So you would make part of your entertainment the stuff coming off the burner and going right out ready to go. That's not a problem for you. It's not like, oh, I gotta have everything ready and then the doorbell rings. It's
No.
okay for this to be cooking when the doorbell rings. That's how you would do this for your large gathering.
Absolutely. And what I would do is I'd have all these fixins ready for the meal, but I would have appetizers. I would have the tortilla chips. I would have Mexican dips, and dips.
Sure.
Maybe some wings thrown in there, any kind of finger food. And then, of course, the desserts. You can add to that. I mean, if you're serving a crowd, you want different things, most definitely.
Excellent.
Yeah. I'm just going to take a peek. Ooh, my.
So I'm always interested in people's wrapping skills. So I'm just gonna sit here quietly and watch your style.
Actually, now these are thin, okay? So you can get a lot in here. But when you go to a restaurant, they're thicker and smaller.
Right.
So you kind of have to eat them like this. But because this is a tortilla, I can literally fold it and make a nice little package and bite into it, not have it go all over the place.
Yeah, again, that's why I enjoy the big ones, because I seem to wrap everything like a burrito, fold the sides in, and because that meat is juicy, the vegetables are juicy. You gotta have a lot dripping out there, and it's that's why I won't wear the white shirt to an event like this.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a knife and kind of. Oh yeah, that's coming along. Oh, we have a little more time.
All right. Well,
I'm gonna give it some more time.
Okay. We have 18 minutes, so that's good.
Yep, and while we're doing this, I can open the wine, let it breathe a little. It's a red wine.
Your favorite to go with Tex-Mex red wine?
No, not a favorite. I'll drink anything.
Because as we talk, like I think we mentioned in all the shows, that red wine with beef and white with fish and that's all out the window these days with all the different types of wines.
Yeah, absolutely. I know it's the case with my wines, and I need practice at that. But at least I can get it open.
That's right.
Yeah. So this is a nice fruity wine. I pronounced it a little earlier. It's a Montepulciano di Abruzzo, which, forgive me, I believe it's Italian. I'm going to put it off to the side.
It's definitely not Irish.
It smells beautiful. I think the Italians are a lot like the Irish in that way.
Pretty much.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so should I try to put one together?
Yeah, let's see your skills here.
Okay, and I don't know if you ever heard of a restaurant in Boston. It was a lunch place in the financial district, Chacarera.
No, that doesn't ring a bell.
It was a Brazilian sandwich shop, and they would make sandwiches like this, and they had a combo, chicken and beef. So you could get chicken, beef, but then they had the beans, the string beans, and the guacamole, and the sour cream, and all these wonderful things. I'm wondering if I should do a little bit of that, like a combo.
Well, crazy. You're the one that's going to enjoy it, so.
Might as well, right? So I'm going to lay a couple of pieces of chicken, and then I'll grab a couple of pieces of beef. And as you can see, I'm not going too crazy because I want to be a little dainty, right? I want to be able to pick it up and eat it.
That's right. Yes, you still have to eat it.
Yeah, right. So I've got the chicken, the beef, the peppers, onions, little Pico de Gallo. I've have a little bit of guacamole, which I love, maybe a little more, and definitely some sour cream. Put a dollop right there. And then I think I'm going to fold it kind of like that, right?
Yeah.
To kind of keep everything in.
That's how I would try.
I grab a paper towel. Now, I feel terrible. I feel terrible biting into this without having anyone to share it with, because that's what the gathering is all about, right?
That's I think one of the biggest obstacles you have by putting the show together. Was it the fact that you're doing it live? Was it the fact that you had to do technology such as laptops and Zoom meetings and all that? I think the biggest thing you overcome is not having people to feed.
That's it. Being Italian, talk about a sin, right?
It's a sin.
It's like, come on down.
You know what we'll have to do is maybe do a takeout window on your kitchen window.
Oh my God, you can pull up tonight.
Pull up tonight. There you go.
There you go. I'm going to get some of those to-go containers.
There you go.
So you won't consider it rude if I bite
Not
into
at all.
that?
I need to hear the afterwards. So.
Okay. Oh. Mm. Oh, that is so good.
That's good.
Oh.
You know, I was considering having Taco Thursday tomorrow. Since yesterday I had to work at the firehouse and Taco Tuesday was out of the question. But I said I was going to do Taco Thursday. But now I'm actually thinking about changing it up and switching over to fajita.
Well, you've got the recipes, right?
I got all the I got the recipes, and the only thing that I am missing is the steak. I have the chicken, but I don't have the steak. So, and I want to do both.
Oh, I hope you don't mind.
Because look what you can do with all this afterwards. I mean, you know, there's granted you got all this, just so much stuff that you can do. I can't see any of that going to waste. And I don't see you have to eat a fajita every day either.
Exactly.
You can have a little corn salad, have some beef with it, or some chicken and some pico de gallo on top of your garden salad or your romaine lettuce, whatever. There's so many things that you can make with all that food afterwards.
You can get tortilla chips, and to the sour cream, add taco seasoning and make a dip.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Really quick.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Sure. Look at that. Well, this is why we're here. How those plantains though? Those got to be ready.
Oh, yeah. These are done. These are beautiful. I'm going to bring these over. Put this front and center. And what were you going to remind me?
Is to go to the refrigerator and get the whipped cream. I was going to wait till you to show it off and say, hey, I bet whipped cream would go really good with that.
I wish you could smell this.
I know. It kills me.
I'm going to put a little plate together. Now, can I make you laugh?
Please.
Because you know I'm not a baker.
We know that. We've had this discussion on many shows.
Guess what I bought just in case the whipped cream didn't come out?
Oh, don't tell me the little old Cool Whip. Oh, that's even the better stuff, the Ready Whip.
So I'll be like that later.
We never had that as a kid. That my mother would never buy the can. She always got the Cool Whip that we kept in the fridge. And the Cool Whip, you go to get the Cool Whip later, then you come find out she used it to freeze something. Because we didn't buy the Tupperware because we used the Cool Whip containers.
Exactly. So, whipped cream. I made whipped cream. Isn't that nice? So I'm going to put a couple of this. I'll push this over so you can see this. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
Whipped cream.
Nice dollop there.
And actually, I'm going to a little sauce over that. And I hope you don't mind. I'm going to taste this. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Don't cool off enough. Ooh.
I like how you get the nice warmth and the cold all together like that.
Oh, it's beautiful. It is really good.
And before you forget too, you may want to plate some of that Zesty Fiesta salad, corn salad there. And because I bet they'll show up nicely on that plate and everyone at home can see it.
And it is. And then with that dressing, you let this sit, and that's going to marinate. And that's going to be beautiful. I don't know if you can see everything.
Oh, yeah, that's looking great.
Yeah, and again, what a beautiful dish. So let's taste this.
Oh, what the heck happened there? Sorry, your music came on.
That's because this is so good. I'm going to take another bite.
And on a warm day like today, too, it's not a too hot of a meal to eat and prepare. You know, a little time over the stove. You got the oven going for, I think, what was it, 20, 25 minutes for the plantains?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad. What was it? Was it 350 for the oven?
Yes.
So that's not bad at all. It's, you know, days like this when the kids say, "Hey, Dad, let's cook a pizza," and you know, days like today, you got to put the oven on 4 1/4. It's 350 is not bad.
No, not at all. And in the warm weather, maybe we can do a show. I don't know if you've ever made no-cook spaghetti sauce.
Never.
It's where you use fresh tomatoes, vinegar, olive oil, spices, and you cook your spaghetti or macaroni, but the sauce you don't cook. It's kind of like a salsa type thing. And you put the pasta in with that, it warms up the tomatoes, and it's a no-cook spaghetti sauce.
Yeah. I mean, the closest I ever had to no-cook spaghetti sauce would be a gazpacho.
You remember my premiere show?
I remember the premiere show, absolutely.
The gazpacho?
Yeah. Yeah, that stuff was, I think I took some home that night.
Yeah, I made a ton of it.
So let's go over this again. You could have all this here done up ahead of time. You could piece it together as your little group, you know, 1, 2, 3 people that are there in the house. And basically, you could still be cooking stuff while you're eating, you know, like plantains. You can, you know, you save that, you know, they're better warm with a nice cold scoop of whipped cream on there.
Absolutely.
But overall, it's still a quick meal, still under an hour. And as I look at our clock with that 7:55 here, you know, we're doing great. Everything's done under an hour.
Yeah.
And I believe with the exception of all that talking in between, I think if you started right from the go, cutting up tomatoes or whatever, I think you could have done this whole thing within an hour.
Yeah. Most likely.
Yeah.
Most likely. Especially, you know, when you have knife skills like me.
Oh, I'm just glad. That's what I love about you doing all the prep work ahead of time. I don't get to watch you cut things. That's why I enjoy.
Yeah.
That's why I think I enjoy you watching baking more than.
Yep, on occasion I do self-injure myself. It's just a quick reminder to slow down
Yeah.
and to remind myself, well, I've not been formally trained.
No, not at all. But you make it look so easy.
Well,
And
because it is, Mike, and my philosophy has always been if you can read, you can cook. And that's all it is.
wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now a lot of these recipes also take on a life of their own afterwards. Like you say, you read a lot of books, you do a lot of traveling, but a lot of these recipes too, you like to make your own.
Oh,
you know?
yes.
So
Oh, yes.
that's
You
not an
can-
easy skill either, correct?
Exactly. You can see a recipe, but say to yourself, oh, instead of this spice, I'm going to use that spice because I love it and I know it's going to work well.
Sure.
And then you end up creating.
Right. And one of the things that I make a basic chili, no beans.
Oh, love chili.
I believe there's I believe in the old saying, if there's beans in it, it's not chili. So but I do mine with different cuts of meat. I do it whether it's ground beef, whether it's cut up steak, little pork.
Right.
I just mix it up all the time. Then the spices, everything is eyeballed based on what I feel like that day.
Exactly.
And then you taste as you go, and hopefully you get it right.
Well, the old relatives, right? They'd be cooking. They never had recipes, right? Pinch of this, pinch of that. And it would be like, please give me the recipe. And they go, are you kidding me? Just sit and watch because, that's how they did it.
The recipe is what we had in the cupboard, a lot of times. That's the recipe.
Well, exactly. And we still will have a canned show.
Right.
Starring Spam.
I can't wait. I can't. Because I have a couple books. I have a couple books to show you when we do that. So here we are wrapping up, and can we, without giving it away, can you give a little tease to what we might be looking at next week?
I want to say we might be taking a trip overseas to the Mediterranean.
Ooh, Mediterranean, huh?
Mediterranean. And that can encompass Greece, Turkey, Italy, the beautiful area. So
see, now you got me thinking baklava. I have to go to the bakery tomorrow now and get some baklava.
Well, yeah, and I hate to tell you, Mike, because I've been starting to, pull things together. And baklava, I've got beautiful books on it, but that would just take way too long.
Oh, way too long. That's like 3 shows. Yes, I know.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Terry, thank you again. Awesome job. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Put a little plate out for me. I might swing by later.
Absolutely. And I want to, as always, here's to H-Cam. We love you.
Love you too. Thank you very much.
Okay.